What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
Let's go. Show number 2 this week, the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper, I'm Rob Jenners. That is 7-time NBA champion who still can't be bothered to move a freaking jukebox out of his studio. Robert Ory.
It's part of the rule now.
Didn't I tell you that you should move this jukebox?
You know what? I was planning on moving it this weekend.
Oh, sure you were.
I am. I'm moving it
Tune
this
in
weekend.
for Rob's Jukebox on the Tuesday show.
Hey, and if you can't really sit right next to it, is my humidor. You can't even see it. It's black right there. So I had to move that over. I had to move that over to get the jukebox in.
Oh, God.
But you know what? I want to apologize to you guys.
Uh-oh. What did we do? What happened?
Y'all didn't do anything. I you know, when you wake up and something just like you turn your phone on, you say, okay, what's going on in the world today? I didn't know y'all had the most exciting baseball team in the league. I looked at all the guys and all the home runs they had. I'm like, what the hell is going on with the Atlanta Braves?
Well, you picked a hell of a time to bring this up, where we just got our asses handed to us 2 in a row by the Cardinals. Stomped us. I mean, mollywopped us the last 2 days. I think they put like 9 runs up on Tuesday last night.
11.
It was 11 last night.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know.
No. I mean, the team is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have. I mean, I think Matt Olson leads the league right now in home runs.
He has
if I'm not
45.
mistaken, he's got 45. But we've got. I think there's got like 8 or 9 guys on the roster who are in double-digit home runs, and I think.
Over 20.
I think 7 or 8 of them are over 20. I think Darno's the only one that hasn't crossed 20 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's what I was looking at this morning. I'm like, wow. I said, I'm still not a Braves fan, but I might have to tune in just to see how good this crew is.
dude, we legitimately may finish the season with 5 guys over 30 home runs.
Wow.
Which is
that's
bananas.
incredible.
Which is
That's
freaking
incredible.
bananas. And one of them is going to, I mean, Matt Olson might hit 50 home runs this year.
And he won't even be the MVP because Ronald Acuna is going to be the MVP.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just wild. It is just wild.
With a first team to 60, 70, 80, and 90 wins.
Yeah. And we're going to roll into the division series and eat a fat piece of crap on the first series of the year and get shown the door like the New
Don't
York.
say that. Don't put it out there.
I'm joking, but that's always look, if you've been a Braves fan long enough, that is the fear that you live in all the time. No matter how good you are, who's going to catch you at the right time in the playoffs and run you out when you shouldn't?
Yeah.
Because we've seen it over and over again as Braves fans.
Hey, you know, if you peak early in the season, you know what happens to you.
Yep.
But at least you ain't like my Mets, who always start the season out great. The next thing you know, after the first 30 games, they're like,
unless it's this year's Mets, in which case you started terrible, you remain terrible, and you're going to finish terrible.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to change allegiances. I think I'm become a Dodgers fan.
You're close enough. I mean, you live
know
close
it.
to
Live
Dodger
down the
Stadium.
street.
You got a
I live
Dodger
down the
fan in the house with you. I mean, come on. You know, you're...
I'm a Dodger fan. I'm a Dodgers and an Astros fan. You know, I'm a
Oh, Houston. Never mind.
Yeah,
My bad.
Houston.
Yeah.
That makes
You know, my favorite player growing up was J.R. Richardson. And I wanted to be like him on the mound, man, when I used to pitch. So, but I like Houston and I like the Dodgers. You know.
Wait a minute.
Oh man, that is some front runner.
Hey, no, the funny part is like they hate each other. They literally hate each other. Every time my son Nick and Candace get to talk about baseball, and they talk about the beating on the drums and the trash cans and stuff, and everyone's like, nobody ever says about every team. You should. I have to get my son Nick go ahead to talk about it.
I thought your favorite player was Griffey.
Griffey? No, I think he got
His favorite player is Gary Carter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Gary Carter, and then so.
All right.
I mean, that's my favorite player, but I thought it was yours as well, but my fault.
Yeah.
He figured you were down with the Cards, but you're not. That's fine.
I'm sorry. Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You good.
No, actually, before Gary Carter was actually, dang it. Hey, see, I'm getting old. I'm still jet lagged.
Who, Babe Ruth?
No.
Wow.
He's the best athlete of all time. We always talk
Bo
about
Jackson?
No, not Bo Jackson.
Deion Sanders?
No, not this dude he has pro offers in baseball, basketball, and football.
Oh, Dave Winfield.
Oh, Winfield.
Winfield.
Oh,
Dave
Winfield.
Winfield.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dave Winfield's an exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your favorite basketball player growing up when you were a kid? Magic?
Magic. I love Magic. Everybody growing up was like either Dr. J. It was Dr. J. It was no Michael Jordan then, and then it became Dr. J. People skipped over Magic and in my neighborhood went to straight Jordan, but yeah. I just love Magic. I just like the fact that he played basketball the right way. It wasn't about him, it was about us. And he just made everybody around him better. He had a smile. He just played with the joy. Think about it. You never hardly ever see him get upset on the court, but he always had that smile on his face. So yeah, that's what I always like Magic.
Well, it's not lost on you then, the fact that you got to play for the Lakers when your favorite team growing up was Magic Johnson, or favorite player was Magic Johnson. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I tell you, my biggest thrill still was when I was, doing my recruiting visits for the NBA, and I got a chance to play one-on-one with Magic, and he walked in the gym like, "Oh shit! Oh, you're gonna play one-on-one with Magic and see how you fare?" I'm like,
oh, okay, all right, okay.
I'm like, "Oh shit! I'm playing Magic one-on-one in the gym. That motherfucker lit my ass."
I was gonna say, how did it turn out?
He never left the fucking floor, man. He was just like, and that goes to let you know that it ain't always about talent; it's about the smarts, man. The IQ is a big deal in this game, man. From that moment on, I said, okay, you got to learn this game, not just play this game. Because he was like pump fake. I was jumping out the gym. I did hit him with a jump in his face, and I was like, yeah, I was happy with that. But yeah.
Well, when you play one-on-one with arguably one of the greatest players that's ever put on shoes and hit the floor, if you can get a jumper, take the jumper. You know what I mean? like
exactly.
You got everything else on me. I'm going to take this jumper. I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to remember it for life.
Hey, but after that, he retired, and then he came back, and we played him in the playoffs with the Rockets. And I was like, I got him. I was picking him up full court because I know he was older. I was smarter. I was younger. I was fast. No. I was picking his ass up full court and turning him away and making him use all that energy. They're like, what's wrong with Rob? I was like, it's amazing what, excitement and the energy can do for you. I was picking that dude up full court trying to all right, man, you got to get this joint up. But here's another part about it that is, we on the show at Spectrum, they was talking about the last time a guy came off the bench and scored like 25 points in a playoff game, because it was Rudy Hachimura last year for the Lakers, and then they were showing Magic, and every one of Magic's shots was in my grill, like dude. He had like 25 on there, and I'm looking at Spectrum guys like, it took us a while, but every clip he scored, we put it on you, but it's fun though, man. Those were like, for me. And we always talk about, you sit back and you tell your kids or your grandkids about your career, and that's going to be the first thing I tell my little grandson, Kay. I played against Magic Johnson, one of the guys who transformed the league.
I lost, but I played against him.
No, we won that game. He got his.
Yeah, that's right. You did win that game.
We won the game.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up a couple things we didn't get to on this week's show and some follow-up stuff. I'm actually gonna skip ahead here, and I want to start with LeBron. Man, the tinfoil hats were out this week. LeBron's in Saudi Arabia. I guess they contracted him to do a basketball camp, and he's out and immediately after the jokes about Giannis last week, and would you play for the Saudis? Hell yeah, I'd play for the Saudis. And I guess LeBron's made like some flippant comments on Instagram, like, "Hey man, you send that bag my way, I might have to sign a 1 year. Come on over and play." Well, now he's in Saudi Arabia, and here come all the tinfoil hats. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here comes the rival NBA out of Saudi Arabia. I think it's just he's doing his due diligence, right? He's doing a basketball camp for kids, and that's good for him. But do you think maybe he's using that opportunity to kind of maybe grease the wheel a little? Because you never know.
I don't think. I think he put it out there because he know how, let's be honest, Saudi Arabia got a gang of money. And they got buku money.
Oh,
well, okay, I'll go
time.
Saudi. And I'm guaranteed this camp, he's probably making about $5 million for this camp. And so he's going to go over there and take that bag. And I ain't mad at it.
Hell
a lot of people
no.
don't like, certain countries. But, hey, you have to take advantage of your opportunities while you have them.
Yeah, I mean, that man ain't going over there. He's not going. I mean, he gets to play against the best talent pretty much every night in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's not.
And I know
going
and I know that when I was over there, they were really trying to build this sports complex over there, where they're trying to put more emphasis on sports, and the Saudi people are trying to. You should see they literally built an island, brought in sand and built an island, and now they're putting up a basketball gymnasium. I think they soccer field. They're doing all these things to try to bring in these different sports to Saudi Arabia. So it's actually, if you get a chance to look it up. It's actually a cool little thing they're doing. I guarantee you that's one of the things why the reason they brought LeBron is to shed light on this, because I forget what his title is, but I had the chance to talk to him on Zoom. He had something else to come up, and I couldn't really get a chance to have a meeting with him. But they're putting a lot of money and effort and manpower in to try to make this complex one of the best in the world. So, but they got the money to do it. So,
you think they ever try to do that? Start a rival NBA?
No, because I don't think. Well, I know guys from the United States, unless they're getting crazy bank, it's not going to go there, because, I hate to say this, but NBA guys like to party, and there's not too much partying going on in Saudi Arabia.
I don't know, man. I've heard there's a lot going on over there now.
It's a lot
going on, but you just have to be very careful of what you do over there. So
that's true. Yeah, international law is a whole nother.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in the Middle East, you got to be real careful. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I just watched them do it to the PGA, so immediately everybody goes, "Well, shit. What if they were to do this to the NBA?" And I mean, you would have to really spend out of your shoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the PGA, I think for me was easy pickings, because those guys got paid, but you didn't get paid unless you won a tournament. All the guys that fall below in the PGA, they don't catch a lot of money. So throwing some money at guys that maybe haven't won a tournament in a while or haven't caught a big payday, that's easy. In the NBA, you would have to spend out of your pants. I mean, you would have to just everything you have, you'd have to throw on the table.
Yeah, because it's going to require.
You'd have to get probably half the league.
Yeah, it requires you to get, names and people with talent in order to make the league work, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and then you got to come out. Think about it. There's just so many rumors about guys being in different leagues that didn't get paid. That's one of the reasons I would love to have Dominique on here to talk about when he went across the borders and played. And because if you don't get half your money up front, you might not get it at all. So that's the problem with playing with because if you don't win, they look at, we ain't gonna pay you. You're a foreigner. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to go back home without no money.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of big money, Shedeur Sanders is projected to make $3.8 million through NIL this season. Now, after that first game, that's nuts. One game. Dude is up at 3.8. That's $2.5 million before his breakout game against TCU. So he's gone up $2.5 million from one game. His earnings are over $2 million more than Dak Prescott's base salary, which is 1.7, and nearly $3 million more than Joe Burrow's, and about $3 million more than Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence's base salaries as well.
Wait, this is the base salary for Dak?
NFL base salary.
I mean, but was that Dak's rookie deal?
Yes,
certainly not that now.
No, that was Dak's rookie deal.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to say I can't get a deal now.
Early base salaries, first year in the NFL compared to what he's going to do in college after one game.
Got it.
Yeah,
he's projected to make more off of that one game than most of these guys on their first, second year rookie deals.
Hey man,
that's what NIL is now.
But I watched. I had a chance to watch the game. Me and Christian sat down and watched it. Yesterday or was it the day before yesterday? But anyway, we was watching it the whole time. They just kept the camera on Deion. Now think about how much money Deion making with the sunglasses, whatever shoe he's wearing, because he has to sit down because of that leg or foot, whatever it is. Yeah. And so it was like, think how much money that dude making. Because Colorado still ain't paid him yet, but sheesh.
Well, they better.
They've got the money now because $28 million was raised by staff, and then they've sold out of their season tickets, and their regular season single tickets are sold out. So they've got the money. Now, I don't know, like you said, I don't know if they paid him or not yet, but I know when he signed on the dotted line, they didn't have the money. They got it now.
Yeah. And I imagine merchandise sales are through the roof for Colorado. Yeah. Like, I've seen people this week on social media in Colorado gear, and I'm like, F you, that shit's got the tag on it still. Like, it's fresh off the rack. I don't want to hear it.
But did you see, how every time they show a college, they show the colleges, and like the promo for the college.
Yeah.
Did you see Colorado's promo?
No, I missed
No.
that.
Oh, you have it's like we have prime this, we have prime that, we have
course.
prime this.
Yeah, of
And
course.
at the end, they just show Deion like on the field. I'm like, they are milking this shit right now,
As
boy.
well they should,
That's
right?
what they should
That's
do.
the investment. You
Yeah.
spent the money on Deion Sanders.
But you didn't really spend no money. 'Cause
Right.
They ain't have no money.
You wrote him in. You wrote him in MC. Yeah, go ahead and dribble this one to the bank. You
Well,
know?
you need to. It needs to be everything prime because, like you said, he's their investment plan.
Yeah.
He's the reason that they have the money.
They bet
He's-
it all on him.
Right. He's
But
the
I'm
reason
just
he's
saying
paying
they're very
himself.
Smart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're very smart. It's like, okay, we're gonna use this.
Yeah.
So there are already odds, by the way, on whether or not he stays there in 2024. From BetOnline.net, odds for Colorado: will he go to the NFL? Will he go to another NCAA team, or will he stay put? The odds-on favorite is he stays put, but you're plus 500 that he goes to another college team, and plus 550
He's
that
not
he goes
going
to the NFL.
He's not going to the league.
I don't think he's going to. He's not. His way to motivate it can't really motivate pros.
Right.
Now you can really motivate college kids and high school kids, but I don't think he can motivate pros. But I don't think he's going anywhere because if he goes somewhere, people are going to really talk about him. You know, Deion is really big on his image. And they say, oh, you just chasing the bag. You don't care about the kids because that's what they said about him when he left Jackson State.
But
so I don't think he'll leave Colorado.
But is he though? Because Deion has also told people a lot of times, even going from Jackson State to Colorado, he don't care what people think about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Deion has a path that he's on. You know,
But that's going to hurt him in recruiting, though.
No,
Think
it
about
won't.
it.
No, it won't.
Yeah. because
Wherever
that guarantee-
Deion goes, that's where everybody's going.
But all right, if he leaves here and goes there, those kids in Colorado are like, well, shit, I just left it. I can't keep moving. And the NCAA about to put a lockdown on that where you can't keep going in the portal and transferring like that.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
now, am I going to go sign with Deion and not saying, okay, you got freaking Alabama who's about to lose Nick Saban, say, okay, we need Deion, and we're going to give him $80 million a year. Those kids going to be like, Deion might just freaking leave you and jump ship again because he's just chasing the bag.
But here's the difference with that school, though. It's specific about the schools that you're naming. There are certain schools around the nation that you get that are premier jobs that you just don't up and leave. And Alabama, USC, Texas, those jobs, Georgia's probably becoming one of those schools. Those are destination jobs. Those are jobs that you get, and you either hold on to them or they're firing you. That's the only way you're leaving. Mm-hmm. That's not the same in Colorado.
I just put that. I'm just saying that, but I'm talking about when you go to him. If he goes to a destination school, yeah, he'll stay there. But if he doesn't, how many destination schools are really like available?
That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why they're not
They
available.
don't come available very often.
Yeah.
But let's do this. Let's do this game. Eventually, Nick Saban steps away.
Okay.
Alabama, you would have to imagine. Now, I don't know how they feel about after last week. You have to imagine that Dabo Swinney's at the top of their list of people they would like to pull over to Alabama. So let's play the game. Dabo Swinney goes to Alabama. Clemson calls on Deion. Does he go back to the ACC? Coach for the Clemson Tigers? That's a destination. Dabo's made that
Yes.
a destination program.
Is
it more high profile than Colorado, or has he raised Colorado's clout enough where he could stay and be fine?
Clemson is always going to be more of a destination place than Colorado. It always will be. Why?
Yeah,
because Deion made it that way.
I think with weather, Clemson has better weather, and I think Clemson has a bigger history than Colorado.
Sure does.
And also it's in football country. You know what I'm talking about? Like Colorado's like in the middle.
You're in the southeast though.
Yeah, so you think about all the top 100 football players, most of them are from Texas over, and so I think that make a big difference.
And obviously, this is all hypothetical.
Of course.
With these conference realignments, who's to say Clemson won't go to the SEC?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
So that's one of those
Couple
things.
of years, the ACC might be coming apart.
That's what I'm saying. So
You think? I don't think ACC will come because basketball is just too strong.
No, and I don't
keep
think
that conference together.
I don't think the conference is going to come apart, but I think you're going to see a lot more realignment probably in the next 2 years. And the reason why
I think
is
the ACC will add someone.
the ACC's added three schools now.
from out west,
Bigger
They've added
names.
SMU, Stanford, and Cal.
Like I said, bigger names. Even though they're big names on the West Coast, but they're like they don't respect Pac-12 football on that
course
side of
not.
the world.
No.
Yeah, they might
There
think
ain't no
about
Pac-12
basketball
anymore. It's just a Pac-2. I think there's like 2 schools left in the freaking Pac-12. But, there's going to be so much conference realignment that there's a chance that without the ACC breaking apart, you might see teams like Clemson or Florida State migrate over to the SEC as the SEC continues to try and grow its footprint.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
let me ask you this question to you guys. Do you think the NCAA should step in? All that money the NCAA has, and they should do something to keep like schools from like conferences from breaking up, because now I'm gonna think as a basketball player, you play at Stanford, and now you got to play Georgia Tech on a Saturday.
Travel.
Then you have to play North Carolina on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do we care about these student athletes? 'Cause we always call them student athletes.
We don't. No. And like, what happens when the girls' volleyball team from Miami has to fly to Stanford on a Wednesday and play in California and then fly back? What do you get? I mean, no. All those classes go out the window.
That's my whole point. It's like NCAA need to step in and do something, because they're forgetting. I know money is the root of all evil, but they're forgetting about these student athletes. It's okay for football, and right now everybody says, "Oh, football is just one game." No. What about these other sports that play 2 and 3 games in a week?
It's everybody.
It's killing them.
Yeah.
You think if I'm Stanford and I got a track meet, I'm sending my kids who we ain't even top 5 in the country. You think I'm gonna send them across this? Oh, I'm gonna spend $2 million, send y'all over to North Carolina to play?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna stay your ass off and then send the L in.
The girls' field hockey team from North Carolina has to fly to Colorado or fly to freaking California.
Yeah.
To play 2 games in the middle of the week.
When is the NCAA ever cared?
Oh, never.
Oh, we never thought that. But I'm just saying,
the NCAA cares about money. Yeah. That's all they care about.
You have to start looking out for the student athlete. That's like, you don't care. You didn't want them forever to get paid because you wanted all the money, but now it's like, care about the student athlete.
Can I ask you a fair question? Have you ever looked at the NCAA and been like, they care about the student athlete?
Oh, no.
Never, right?
Never.
So how can you expect them to care now? They've never cared. They care about the money. The NCAA cares about how much money are we making on college athletics.
Which is why you have realignment. Why? Because I'm moving to these conferences because of exposure and TV deals. And who have the 2 biggest TV deals in the nation right now? The Big Ten and the SEC.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
USC and UCLA and all the others. First, USC and UCLA said, you know what? We out. We'll holler at the rest of y'all later. Y'all do what y'all want to do.
Yeah.
Longhorn Network.
Yep, damn straight.
And they were.
And they started it all.
Hook 'em horns, baby. SEC country.
Longhorn Network messed up everything.
Yep, sure did.
What it is.
But I mean, you're right. Should the NCAA look out for these kids? 100%.
Yes.
But they never have, and I don't think they're ever gonna, unless the freaking government gets into it or some shit. You know.
And that you don't want that.
But a lot of these kids, because of the travel, are going to have to go online. Because they're not going to be able to be in class for classes. So a lot of it is going to be
Zoom and a lot of virtual classes.
A lot online because you're going to be traveling back and forth across the country now.
Yeah, is that, but if you really think about it, I know if you like U of H, I don't know this for here, but the rumor is the basketball team, they never go to class. They do everything online. They sit in the room. They got these tutors. Everything is online. And that to me is not helpful for a student athlete, because it's about networking. Because what if you're not a star athlete who goes to the next level? Now you done sat in this room and you never know who you be sitting next to in the classroom. And this person said, "Oh, I remember this dude from class. He was cool as hell. And I just got this job as a, president or CEO, whatever company. Oh, I'm gonna hire him because we're in the same field." And that's the part that I don't like. It's like they got to send these kids to class because now they're putting themselves in a world that's not a real world. It's like, okay, I don't need to do this because I'm a star athlete. I'm gonna sit back. No, take your ass to class. I know COVID and everybody thinks about that, but take your ass to class so you can mingle and meet people, so you can network. It's about networking because everybody's not gonna go to the next level. And if you sit in that room and don't make friends or make relationships, you can't do anything after that.
In fact, most of those kids will not go to the next level.
Yeah.
It's just reality. So, there's something to be said for social skills and meeting people and all that. And they don't think so. How about a couple of other quick ones here? This question came from Dennis. I have a piece of audio attached to this one. This was for Rob. Rob, what did you think of the Dillon Brooks ejection from the FIBA game the other day? Did you happen to see that? He's playing for Team Canada. And by the way, they booed him every damn time he touched the ball. And here's a little bit of the audio.
The new 14. Brooks to the left, knocks down the three, and then blows kisses to the crowd with some interesting words that I won't repeat.
He was dropping Mario Ellie, man. He was kiss of death in that crowd the whole night, just blowing and they booed him mercilessly every time he touched the basketball.
He looked terrible.
Yeah, and it's so funny. He is for me. I don't know the kid. Never met the kid. It seems like that's playing into what he wants. I said, but then again, you got to think about you doing this now. You becoming hated. Are you going to be able to market yourself anywhere, for other than just playing a sport? And then if you suck with the Rockets, you really not going to get a job because nobody's going to want that on their team. So you got to figure a way to change his image. He got to do some WWE type shit where you be a good guy one day, a bad guy, and a good guy.
Something. But yeah, I mean, and that's part of it too. How far can you go playing the villain?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's fine to get your name out there. And now I'm like, I know more about Dillon Brooks now than I have in the last God knows how long, last year or so. I've known more about this guy than ever. But what does it do for you? Except get your name in the general conversation. What does it do?
Yeah.
I don't think people want to pay the bad guy, but
not me.
Do you get the I get the attitude part of it though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to play with attitude, you want to play with some emotion and some spirit and some spite maybe at times. So I get that. I just don't get him trash talking all the time.
I think when most guys, you look through the history of guys who trash talk, MJ, Reggie, the Glove, these guys backed it up. They came out and put numbers on you.
You just rolled off 3 all-timers, though.
Yeah. Larry Bird, these guys, they backed it up.
All-timers.
That's the problem, though. He's not backing it up. You got to back it up. It's okay. There's a lot of bad guys throughout the history that you never heard from, but they was known as bad guys. And, he has if he wants to be a bad guy and, be a tough guy on the court, that's fine. But don't talk about it. Be about it. Because once you talk about it and then you get your ass lit up and then you walk out of a room and don't talk about it, now that's where you run into problems. Oh, you talked all this shit, now you're going to run and hide in the corner? Yeah. Stay out here and take that beating.
Exactly. Let's back up here a little bit. Kanye West got banned from a Venice boat company. I love this story just because it's ridiculous. I guess this is his wife now, Bianca Sensori. And they were on this boat. They're in Venice, and her head disappears into his lap. Someone's got video of this, and then he tries to kind of stand up and scramble, and you see his bare ass is hanging out of his pants. He pulls his pants back up. So she's knobbing him off on this boat. I don't think there's any debate about the fact that this happened. He's probably, it was a real public display of affection. So my question is, A, what the hell? But B, where's the craziest place you've ever had some activities happen?
Nunya.
Come on now.
Hey, first of all, you can't do it in the car because I'm too tall, and you can't do it anywhere else because you're a public figure. So figured my bedroom.
That's it.
Hotel room. That's it.
You don't want no video of Robert Horry's bare ass out there. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Put pants back on.
Hey, my wife and I even get mad because we get in the hot tub. And it's like all of a sudden, we live by a place I'm not gonna say because I kind of tell me where I live, but we have helicopters all the time. And so we were like the other day we was in the hot tub. We were fully clothed, and the helicopter seemed like it was like watching us. I'm like, we ain't doing that but sitting here having a glass of wine, shooting the shit. I'm like, keep it moving, man. Don't be trying to get no free look at my wife.
I hope y'all ain't getting down in the hot tub.
No, dog.
That's not healthy.
No, dude.
The hot tub in general even kind of off-puts me a little bit.
First of all, it's my hot tub.
Right,
ain't nobody else getting their asses
you gotta
in.
keep
No,
it
but I mean,
clean.
yeah.
We got
just
a
from
cool guy to clean.
Okay.
Hey, but this thing, that's the one thing, I've learned from my high school years, trying to do it in a pool is no fun.
No.
I know people are like, we got to make love in the hot tub, do it in the pool.
No, we don't. No.
That shit gets it. That's no fun.
No.
The water slows you down.
He said there's too much resistance.
And then you can't really hide it because then the water just starts doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It starts splashing up in your
The hell are
face.
y'all
like,
doing?
oh.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Splashing up in your face, getting chlorine in your eyes, and like shit.
And that's the thing. Like even in the hot tub, there might be a little chlorine or something in there.
I don't even know. Look, there's chemicals that don't belong in certain places.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
That's
This
what
is
I'm-
used to clean a pool, and that's it.
You don't look
Nothing else.
Throwing off your lady's pH balance.
Exactly. Why is my pee green? Well, you should probably see somebody about that. I got 2 pieces of audio here. We'll wrap up Shoot Around this week. And by the way, if you ever have a question for Rob or you want to throw something in, we're at Big Shot Bob Pod pretty much everywhere. You can find us on the YouTubes, we're on the Twitters or the X, whatever the hell it's called now, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. What airline do you fly when you fly? Do you have like a preferred airline that you got?
Yes.
Okay.
I prefer United. And the reason
Like
I fly
United. Okay.
United, because when I first started flying a lot, I was in Houston, didn't have money in high school and college, but Continental was there. So in the Continental
We used
and
to fly
United
Continental
merged.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so we merged. And so even though growing up, I flew Delta a lot because I was in Alabama and going to South Carolina is Delta. But after being in Houston, United is just, I got too many. I've flown over 1 million miles. I'm 1 million mile with United. So I just fly United.
And I think if you spend a lot of time on a plane, you kind of figure out what airlines you like and which ones are like. This is not a knock on the company, but Spirit Airlines, man, it's a free-for-all, dude. It's like you get a cheap ticket, but you got to pay for your bag. You got to buy pretzels. It's a free-for-all. So it's like, I've hit a point where I'm just like, I fly Delta, and I like Delta, and I stay on Delta.
That's my preference.
That's it. And United does a good job. A lot of these airlines do a good job.
You guys are in Atlanta, and that's the hub.
It
and
makes
the-
sense, right? There's a million flights out of here that are Delta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
so,
the funny thing about LA. There is no hub here in LA. They fly everybody.
Yeah.
And when I come to Atlanta, I fly Delta because United doesn't have a direct flight. So I will fly Delta.
yeah, and Delta does a good job. Well, we had a Delta flight this week that had an incident.
Yeah, I saw this.
I'm going to play the pilot's audio. They had to turn around. This Delta flight was heading from Atlanta right here out to Barcelona, Spain. It had to turn around about an hour into the flight because a passenger aboard experienced what's being called a, quote, onboard medical issue. I'm going to play the pilot.
Man had a case of the doo-doos.
He did. I'm going to play here's the pilot calling it in.
Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
That's not funny.
Wait a minute. He had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, the pilot said.
He must have been sitting in the front trying to make it to the back.
But hold on. Are you not wearing pants? Like, isn't there like a shield of some, like, even if it's just happening and you're running for the restroom, you still have pants on. How does it go every?
He made it through
My
that.
whole thing, it had to be a woman who didn't have any drawers on. That's what I had to come to the conclusion.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Or she
Yeah.
had a thong on, and as it was coming out,
Like
that
a
thong was
skirt
splitting.
or something, and it was just, oh no, oh no,
Oh,
no.
shit.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah,
yes,
man,
oh shit,
hey.
exactly, oh shit, oh shit.
But,
The idea of it. By the way, there were 336 passengers aboard this flight. They landed the following day, 8 hours behind schedule. It cost them 8 hours of delay to get to Barcelona.
Never mind.
All the way.
This is hey,
All the way
I've
through
been
the
on
plane.
a plane where this has happened to me.
You had
Not to me
diarrhea?
personally. No, not me. It's happened twice on a plane. And once it was this. I felt so bad for this lady and this kid, because this kid has special needs, and I felt so sad because he was trying to tell his mom he had to go to the bathroom, and she was like the last one on the plane. They had to run to it, and it happened.
That's
and
terrible.
I felt so bad. We didn't even take off yet. They actually made him get off the plane. I was so mad that, this kid has special needs, and it's some things, as a special need kid, you just can't deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I was on the plane in first class, and I'm like, what the hell is that smell? And I'm like, oh, hell no. someone had took a dump on the floor in front of my seat, and they had cleaned
Did you
it
not
up.
see this? Oh, they cleaned it up.
They had cleaned it up, but you could look. I'm like, I didn't even sit down yet. And I'm like, what the hell is that smell? And I'm looking on the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
They still got
like,
doodle stains?
I don't know if it was a dog or someone, but someone had shit on the floor in front of my seat.
Dog. Had to be.
In
And
first
so
class?
I was like, yeah, in first class. And so they made us all get off the plane. They came in, and I was like, I'm not sitting there. And so the lady was like, it's next to my husband. I don't mind. I have dogs at home, and I'm used to this, man. I'm like, oh, fuck that. You can have that seat.
That's all yours,
like,
lady.
Hey,
I'll sit my ass in
man.
the back of the plane with the
Yes.
regular folk.
It was bad, man. I was like,
Okay.
That was,
I'm
whole
glad
fear
you
was
clarified that it happened.
Yeah,
before you
that's just that. I've been on a plane where I have a similar situation, not where it happened to me where I had explosive diarrhea.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever took a squat on a plane.
No.
And as much as I fly international, I just won't go in there and take a squat.
On like an international flight, I would at least understand it. But on like a 2-3 hour skip from like New York to Atlanta, no, I can hold it. I'll be okay.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's easy
Until
to
it
say.
goes all over the plane.
Hey,
I got
now
it.
I'm about to get on the plane. The first time I get on the plane, I'm like, oh crap, it's gonna hit
no.
me.
Because it's, I don't know what it is about, and trust me, I've held it before, so I know it can happen, but it's just one of those things. It's something about being on a plane, 30,000 feet, you got to go to the bathroom, and I don't know what it is, but it's something about being in that environment. It's like, bro, I am not going to be able to hold this long.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Well, I mean, and that's it. Like, so the only time I've ever had to I've ever had an experience where you have to go is when I got food poisoning.
Oh,
You can't stop it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you
it's
can't
like,
stop
okay, it's
that.
happening now, go. You know what I mean? Like that's the only. So maybe this person had food poisoning. So you never know.
Hey, but I will say this is about if it ever happens to me, I don't care where I'm sitting, I'm going all the way to the back.
Oh, to the back.
Back.
So you're one of
Because,
these
you know,
people that's gonna
people-
run through the plane,
No.
Robert shit going everywhere. Yeah.
No, because think about this. People look forward. And they be like waiting on you to come. Like, damn, that dude was in there a long ass time. Like, then you come out, and they be like, "Oh, I ain't going in there for about 2 or 3 minutes because that." Woo.
Well,
Man, but no.
I feel bad for the people that sit in that last row that backs right up to the restrooms because man, if somebody has an incident, you can't escape it. Like, there's nowhere for you to go. You're like 2.5 feet from the door to the lavatory. That's it, man. You ain't going
Hey, you have to
nowhere.
get up and just walk to the front and be like, "Where you going?" Hey, I can't stand. I got to wait. I let the air out back there.
I'm gonna go take a shit in front of Robert Ory's seat. I'll be right back.
Hey, if you know somebody that has if they take a can of spray to the bathroom with them, it's gonna be about 25, 35 minutes before that.
No, you're John Witherspoon and Friday.
Yeah.
Sitting on the toilet with the spray.
Don't nobody go in there for about
45,
45 minutes.
Hey, you got to get that stuff now. What's called it? Poop. Where you can put it in the bowl. I know they don't have water in the plane.
Potpourri.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
it's supposed to. Yeah. See, I come from the old school. My stepfather always just taught me to light a match. And it was like, and I'm not even kidding, like if you had to use a restroom at their office,
Courtesy
or my
flush.
stepdad's office, there was a pack of matches sitting on the counter in there, and if you ripped one, you light a match and you burn it out, man. Burn it out.
No, you just give me a courtesy flush. I don't want you burning down my house and you light a match. All of a sudden, you hit that toilet paper. The toilet paper hit the fucking shower curtain,
no.
and the whole house up in flames.
The comedy of disaster. Robert Ory's house burns down because someone had to take a dookie. All right, very last piece of audio. We'll wrap it up. I just wanted to play this for you because I thought it was awesome. Washington State deputies were pursuing a group of teens suspected of stealing a car last month. They usually have a dog with them. They didn't. But the deputy didn't bother to tell the teens that. Here's the audio of them trying to get these guys out of the woods.
They're down here. They're down here. Yeah, there's 2 down in the ravine right now. Don't make us release our canine!
Female, blonde hair, black and orange backpack.
Better stop! Over here. You're under arrest.
And he caught him. It worked. They came out of the woods. They came running out of the woods because they heard.
Hey, first of all, that's a fucking hound dog. Hound dog ain't gonna scare me, man. I'm like, shit, you can tell by the bark. I'm like, dude, you can change your bark up.
I just love that it worked. Not only is it ridiculous, but it worked. It's so good. These dudes were like, no, man, I don't want any part of that dog. Put that dog away. That's like freaking Coming to America.
Hey,
bark like a dog.
That can't be real, man.
That's real. That's real audio.
I need to see the video of
I'll
this.
send it to you. I have the video and everything. It's Washington State deputies bark like a dog, a big dog.